Hello everybody, Intuition here. Thank you as always for making time and space for us. Today we would like to talk about the karmic wheel, so to speak. And that is not per se the definition of karma, as much as it is the attribution of what the karmic wheel represents, which in many scriptures and texts basically mean that the karmic wheel is based off of the good and bad deeds that you did, which then therefore put you back in an animation or a reincarnation, in which you will forever spend an eternity going in and out of different lives and segments of self for you to make up for the misdeeds and misfortunes that you've plagued others with through your behaviors and actions in prior lives. And so we would like to speak on this idea because, of course, we do not understand it in that way. And potentially, when we express our understanding of how we see that, it will clear up this illusion of good, bad, negative, positive, because all of those things, at least in the way that the karmic wheel is expressed, is based on a value judgment. Good and bad are based off of principle understandings and moral codes that are based in, again, a value judgment. And values are specific and individual, person to person. So to say that you did something good is based off of the understanding and perception of that person based off of their experiences that they had in that life. However, that is, again, not universal to everyone. That is simply subjective to that one person, which, when we again come to the understanding of what the karmic wheel is a major flaw in the understanding of what we understand the reanimation or the reincarnation principle to be. The purpose of why we continue to reanimate and reincarnate, the purpose of us embodying a human body, is as simple as it gives us the possibility for us to remember and understand all it is that we are. When we are in a body, we have more of a possibility to get in touch with the master principality that we are, meaning the master understanding of what it is that our energy represents. And when we are able to remember all it is that we are, the mastery of self that we inherently come to this place with before we incarnate, when we're able to get in touch with that and embody that in a physical human form through the reminder of our experiences, which a life allows, is simply a reminder through the experience and circumstances and situations that bring to the forefront the memory of what it is that we already are. Then that means that we are able to access then therefore the power that is already inherently within us, that allows us to enlighten in a certain way. Enlighten, inside, we lighten up, causing the density of forgetting of who it is that we are to dissipate, which means that we are able to move out of having to be in a body because we no longer need to remember who it is that we are, we remember it. Which means that then therefore we're able to move to the next dimension of understanding ourselves, which is genuinely the only purpose of us being in a body to begin with, is there's more of a possibility for us to remember all it is that we are through the external circumstances and their memories that then therefore get us in touch and have us respond to those circumstances and memories as who we are, as opposed to the story that we believe ourselves to be. And so beating the wheel of reincarnation, beating the wheel of karma, is as simple as remembering all it is that we are. And should we act in a negative value-based judgment, it is not that karmically then because we have performed a misdeed on somebody else that we must come back. It is the idea that we acted outside of the integrity of who it is that we know ourselves to be based off the principality that we identify ourselves with. That means that we moved more out of our knowing of self. And because we moved more out of our knowing of self, we have to come back, so to speak, to have another opportunity to remember and act in accordance with who it is that we are, as opposed to the story that we thought we were that would have us act in a different way. Many words. We know it is easy to get lost in what it is that we're saying because it is many different parallel understandings at once. However, again, how you beat the karmic wheel is as simple as understanding and remembering all it is that you are, which enlightens you enough inside to clear the density of forgetting who it is that you are to begin with, that allows you to go to the next level and understanding of self. But if you act out of accordance, i.e. the negative, if you want to call it that, if you act bad towards others, then you again are acting outside of what you know yourself to be, not because it is based in a value judgment of you doing something bad to somebody else, but bad in the reference of, this is not who I am. And that does not mean that I am the essence of kindness and love, and therefore I should act in accordance with that all the time. Nonsense. That is not what we mean. It is as simple as, if I'm the universal principality of intuition, and I'm acting out of accordance of what intuition represents, if I'm being dumb, if I'm not being intuitive, and instead I am doubting what it is that I know to be true, then I'm not acting in accordance with what it is that I know myself to be. I'm acting in accordance to a story that I'm telling myself that I am. And then therefore, because I'm acting in accordance to the story as opposed to what it is that I know myself to be, I am acting bad outside of the construct of knowing myself, that then therefore propels me into another life, that gives me another opportunity, if you want to call it that, to act in accordance with what it is that I know myself to be. So that next time, potentially, I could lighten up enough to clear the density again of forgetting who it is that I am, to move to the next understanding, the next level of self that inherently is within my genetic structure and DNA code that allows me to evolve into more of myself. So, we beat the wheel of karma by knowing and understanding ourselves. We beat the wheel of reincarnation by doing the same. We know ourselves and we act in accordance with that, not acting as anything or anyone else, not acting within anybody else's rules and belief system, acting within the knowing of what works for us, because when we act in somebody else's belief system, we are also not acting as ourselves. If I, intuition, am acting based on the principalities of evolution, then I am not acting within the construct and the knowing of myself. I'm pretending to be evolution, and that becomes a problem. Because no longer am I being me, I am being something or someone else that propels me to have to again relive in another life circumstances and situations that put me in touch with who I am, as opposed to what I told myself to be, which apparently in my last life was evolution. So, just a little food for thought. As always, we wish you well, and we're full of gratitude for you making time and space for us. Thank you.